Hi, and welcome to day 2 of the Fast Track Shred program. Today we are going to work on our chest and our tricep muscles. Everything that you will need is pretty much the same as day 1. You will need 2 sets of weights, a light and a heavy. I just have 1 set for demonstration purposes, but you'll need 2. You'll also you may need your resistance band if you decide you want to change things up, but you most likely won't need to have a resistance band. We're going to do a lot of work on the floor today. So the first move in the first round that we're going to do push-ups, we're going to do tricep kickbacks, we're going to do a wide chest press, and we're going to do tricep dips. So we're trying to get the hardest move out of the way at the very beginning, which is the push-ups. Not everybody loves to do them. I'm going to do my best to do a full push-up. I am 7.5 months pregnant, so it gets a little bit difficult, but if not, you can always modify them and then grow into being able to do the full push-up move. So for the push-up, the most important part that you think about is your form. Because when we're doing push-ups, a lot of people actually, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see, dip their backs down like this, which is really incorrect. So then when they're doing their push-up, they're like, yeah, I'm getting real far down. But it's not actually correct. They need to have their back straight. So to line your arms up correctly, there's several different types of push-ups you can do. Since we're targeting our chest muscle area, we want to have a wide stance in our push-ups. So our arms are actually pretty far apart. They're not underneath our shoulder blades. To do that, we would be hitting our triceps, which we'll do later. So wide arms. I'm going to do the first one on my toes and then scoot down to my knees so you can see. Your back is flat. Your chest is going to hit right in between your hands. So when you come down, your elbows will come out and then you'll come up. So you're going to come down and up. So you don't have to go all the way down. The larger the range of motion, the more muscles you're working, but work your way up to it if it's the first time you've ever done a full push-up. If you can't, scoot on down to your knees. When you do that, I'm going to come sideways so you can see. When you scoot down to your knees, I actually find it easier to have my toes up in the air. Notice how my back is nice and flat, supported. My core is tucked in. I'm going to come down. Notice my range of motion is a lot better this time. Don't forget to breathe. I always forget to breathe when I do push-ups. So you'll do that for 1 minute. Our tricep kickbacks are the next move. So yesterday before we did bent over rows, something a little bit similar in stance. Feet are hip width apart. You're going to come down. You're going to bring your elbows up, and then you're going to push your arm back and bring it forward. Push it back and bring it forward. You should feel a squeeze right along your tricep muscle right here. So if we're lower down so you can see, we bring it up. Your arm is in line with your torso. You push it back and lift right all in here. You can see the muscle. It's really working. Yeah, you'll feel those pretty quickly. Then we're going to do a wide chest press. So you're going to actually come down onto the floor for this one. I like to bend my knees to help keep my back supported, but you want to push your lower back into the ground when you're laying down. Your arms are going to be up in the air, lower back's pushed down. You're going to come down and push up, down and push up. Think about, we talked yesterday about squeezing that pencil between your back muscles, your shoulder blades. This is the opposite. You're squeezing between your breastbone. So you're lifting up and down, squeeze when you're on your back. And then the last are tricep dips with one leg in the air. These are hard. So you're going to come up into a bridge position. Please, 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 please keep your hands facing your toes. So your fingertips are facing your heels. Don't have them spread back the other way. You're going to really damage your wrists and your elbows and your triceps. Your arm doesn't bend that way. So hands face the heels. We push our hips up into the air. You're going to actually lift one leg in the air and then dip down. Bend the elbows back. Everybody's range of motion is different. So if this is too hard, keep both feet on the ground. You can lift one leg up. It can be straight up in the air, down here, or straight out in front. Whatever works for you. You'll keep one leg raised for, you'll keep the one leg raised for 30 seconds, then you'll switch to the other side, and the other leg will get raised for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's round one. Same as yesterday, each exercise is 1 minute, 30 seconds rest between, and then you will switch and go to the next exercise, 1 minute rest between the next one. So our next move is called the tricep push-up. If you take PYO classes or you've done PYO, you know these, you know a lot of them. Then we're going to do a chest fly. Then we're going to do a tricep dip, but on a slow count. And then we're going to do a narrow chest press, which actually works both your chest and your triceps at the same time. So for the tricep push-up, I'm going to do these on my knees just because I can't support myself with my growing belly. So I suggest if you've never done them before, do them on your knees and then work your way to doing them on your toes. So the first thing you do when you're doing a tricep push-up is you're going to have your hands very narrow. So they're underneath your shoulders or even closer together. I'm bringing my knees up and my toes, I'm bringing my knees down and my toes are up into the air. And the idea is that when you lower down, you hug your elbows into your side. So from the side, it looks like this. Hug, hug, hug. I'm literally squeezing my elbows next to my side. Notice how I'm not going all the way down here, plus I wouldn't be able to get back up, right? So you're only going down as low as your range of motion will allow you to pick yourself back up. Core is nice and tight, back is nice and straight, and tilt your hips kind of forward and up. The next is a chest fly. So you're going to get your heavy weights and your low weights. We'll do a drop set in that. Same setup as we did with the wide chest press, except this time your arms are going to go out to the side. So I like to keep my feet flat on the floor, but there's other options if you want, and you're going to lift your arms up into the air. Your palms are facing each other. You're going to slightly bend your elbows and extend your arms out to the side, and then breathe and bring them back up. Back is into the ground. Now, if you want to make it a little more challenging, you can lift your feet. This is going to bring more ab work in, but you don't have to. It's just a little advanced variation of it. So the next move is the tricep dip on a slow count. So I would suggest having your timer right next to you because by the end of this, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. But you're going to come up into that tricep bridge again. But remember, fingertips are facing your heels. Lift up. So we're going to count down slow for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tap, then lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way extended. Tap, 2, 3, 4, lift. It's nice and slow. Your elbows are going straight back, so they're not out to the side like this. You will hurt your shoulders if you do that, so keep your chest lifted up and then lower your elbows back behind you and lift up. Everybody's range of motion is different, so if you can't touch the ground, if you can't get your butt to touch the ground, or you don't feel like you're going slowly, as long as you're feeling that work happening in your triceps, you're doing it right. Then the last move in round 2 is a narrow chest press. So lay down on your back again. I know you'll like chest and tricep day because you spend most of the time on your back. Again, feet are planted, lower back is into the ground. So this is a narrow chest press. So our palms are facing each other. We have our heavy weight. We're going to lower our arms, just like the tricep push-up. Our elbows are going to rub against our rib cage, and then we're going to extend it back up. Push. Down, extend back up. Nice, just like that. And that is round 2. You will do, again, each exercise is 1 minute. Some of them are drop sets, so you'll use a heavy weight for 30 seconds, light weight for 30 seconds, and then you get a minute rest in between, and then we'll move on to round 3. Round 3 is, I think, one of the harder rounds. We're doing lots of push-ups in this section. So the first is a diamond push-up. Then we're going to do a laying tricep extension. I'm sure it has something else, but I'm going to call it that. Then we're going to do a renegade row, and then we're going to do a narrow, wide, narrow push-up. So, diamond push-up. Push-up stance is the same, except this time your hands are making a diamond together. Thumbs touch, index fingers touch. They're right in front of you. I suggest, unless you have done these a ton of times, that you just do them on your knees because they're super hard. And you don't want to compromise your form in your back because you're trying to get low to the ground. So you may not even go low. But the idea is the same. You go down and up. Down and up. Notice I don't have a humongous range of motion in this. This is going to work the pectoral muscles in a different way. It's also going to engage your triceps as well. So take them at your own pace and don't try and overdo them, because what happens a lot of times with diamond push-ups is people are like, oh, I can do this, and then they compromise their back, and you don't want to do that. Your body needs to stay nice and flat. You're only moving your elbows. Your elbows are the only part that's moving, but when you're trying to overcompensate by pushing forward and arching your back, you're just going to end up hurting yourself. So, diamond push-up. So laying down tricep extensions. Again, you are going to be flat on your back. Knees are bent. You're going to have your arms up above your head. So you are going to bring you're going to bend your elbows, and then you're going to extend them straight. So your palms are facing each other. You bend them down, extend straight. Now, notice I'm not bringing them here and extending them, right? My elbows are staying in line with my pectoral muscles, which puts them pretty much in line with my shoulders. The only part that is moving is my elbow, which is actually my tricep. So when you're at the lowest point, when you bring it up to the top, squeeze your tricep and then lower back down. Bring it up, squeeze the tricep, lower back down. Okay, then we have renegade rows. These are my favorite. So you're going to come into a standing position. Right leg's going to be forward. We'll switch legs halfway through when we switch to lower weight. But your palms are facing your shins, and you're going to bring them up and back down. So your elbows in renegade rows are staying right in line with your rib cage. You bring them up, extend back down. Weight is in your front heel. Back leg is straight or slightly bent to support you. Back is flat. Your leg will actually start to feel this a little bit more than your triceps will, but tomorrow your triceps will feel it. And then we're going to do a narrow, wide, narrow push-up. So, I know it sounds very strange. So, I'm going to do mine on my knees, but you can do them on your toes if you are ready to do that. So, you're going to get into your position first. Then you're going to I'm going to start with my left side. You're going to bring your left hand kind of scattered to the side, and you'll do a tricep push-up. So your elbows will come into the side, and you'll come up. Then you'll do a wide push-up. Wide. Then you'll go to the other side and do narrow. Narrow. So only one arm is moving at a time. So it's more like a side push-up, wide push-up, side push-up, but I called it a narrow one. So that is your chest and tricep day. Again, if you have questions, post the comments below. If you need more support, go check me out on Facebook at Sweat and Be Fit. And hopefully this round will keep you out of breath, and tomorrow your triceps will be feeling it, and your chest as well.